And ladies and gentlemen, away we go. It looks like game number 1 here between Shew and Sasquatch. But first, we have important business to take care of. There's a gentleman that is casting with me. He looks an awful lot like Val Kilmer from Heat, and he sounds an awful lot like Day 9. But he is, I'd like to think I'm privileged to cast alongside him. His name is Joj. How you doing, Joj? How are you?
I'm doing good. What an intro. Okay. As we get started into this game, Sasquatch and Shew are kind of giving each other a little bit of ribbon. It's good luck, have fun, Rat Squatch. Good luck, have fun, Johnny Shew Nami. I don't. That's happening. But yeah, do you want to introduce these players, Brad?
Yeah. Well, for starters, to tweet Sasquatch, tweet EG Suppy. And but yes, down in the bottom right-hand corner, here on Belshir Vestige is in the red trunks. It's going to be Sasquatch as our red Zerg. And up in the top left-hand corner, that's the very lovely Brood Protoss, a very fitting color indeed. I wonder why they don't just switch them back and forth just to screw with us. But anyway, it is Shew. And Shew is from Clarity Gaming. He is a very, very good Protoss player. Typically floats top 50 Grandmasters in North America. He is unbelievably good. Sasquatch, on the other hand, is from Team Complexity and also equally good. We've actually had the privilege of casting both of these guys so far this tournament.
Yeah, we've got to cast both of these guys, and obviously, since they're still in this tournament, they've both won the majority of the games that they've played this weekend. Sasquatch had some interesting games. The last game that we casted with him was against a Zerg, and I forget the other guy's name. How can I do that? Oh. That's so awful of me. But he played a ZVZ against Populist. It was against Populist. He played a ZV against Populist. It was a really great series, and Sasquatch ended up advancing. And I could not tell you who Shew played with. I'm not even going to try. But that was...
It was Root Nathanius.
It was Nathanius. That's right.
Yep.
That's right. That was also an interesting series. But we haven't seen these guys in PvZ, so this should be an interesting match.
Yeah, absolutely. And looks like... everything looking very standard here from the Zerg point of view. He does have that natural up and running, and he, of course, has that that spawning pool is already done. Taking a quick gas, of course. Everything looking very standard. I don't see anything really... There's no trickery here, certainly, yet. Looking at the Protoss base, both gases taken. 2 workers on each, though, is something I should note. He's not like he's fully saturating them both. I think he's just trying to balance. He needs the additional workers in order to be able to continue to get additional mineral income. And Cybernetics Core is finishing up, and we should see an expansion fairly quickly here. He looks like he's banking up minerals. Indeed, he is. He's playing with that probe like nobody's business, and dear God, somebody give that guy 10 minerals so he can finish this. There we go. And Nexus is up. So Shew looking also very, very standard, very, very comfortable. Now, this is the losers round of 3. Losers round 3. It's a best 2 out of 3 series. So whoever wins this obviously will be much more comfortable going into game number 2 for obvious reasons. But besides that, in game number 2, they can change their strategy a great deal. Whereas if they're going into game number 2 with a loss under their belt, they're going to be under a substantially larger amount of pressure. Whoever loses this best 2 out of 3 series will not be advancing. And that is something that we do need to keep in mind. A Mothership Core is coming on over to help take care of the Zerglings that are pecking away at this pylon.
Yeah. And like you were talking about, this is the losers bracket, and if you lose this best of 3, you are down and out. There's no more MLG Anaheim for you, no more Spring Championships. You're not going to be competing anymore. You're obviously still going to be there, and you're going to have fun, but you're not going to be competing. And neither player wants this. Both of these guys are from top North American teams, and they want to continue on, and they want to do their team proud. But onto this game a little bit. Sasquatch has gotten 100 gas, and he's spent it on speed, but he's kept guys in gas. And so far, he's not adding any tech structures, no evolution chambers, no roach horde, no bathing nest even. So I'm wondering what he's going to do with this extra gas. He could go for a lair, or right about now he could throw down maybe 2 evolution chambers and go for like a 1-1 and do that J-Dong, Stefano-esque massling into Ultra style. But so far, we don't really see any commitment from him yet.
No, I have a feeling that he's going to be taking a third fairly in the near future. I think he's going to take a pre-8-minute third. No, I stand corrected, but double Evo chamber like you're mentioning about. Yeah, I think maybe you're right. 1-1 timing, that would make sense. We do see creep starting to get pushed out here as well by the Queen. But like you say, nothing too crazy here. We're looking at our Protoss player, Shew. He does have himself that nice forge. Well, it's not even a forge fast expand. It looks like a forge fast expand out front, but that forge didn't go until afterwards. He is getting +1 weapons upgrade. That will give the Zealots a good advantage indeed. Also throwing down additional gateway up front. And now if we do look up top, he is getting a Warp Prism. Now, Warp Prism is certainly one of those useful items that we haven't really seen a lot this tournament. Very, very fast. They're basically speed prisms out of the box. They come with the upgrade. He's going to grab a couple of Zealots, pick them up very quickly, and then away they go. Now, Overlord and Zergling placement is very, very good. There is a Zergling up on the high, a probe on the high ground that is going to get spotted by the Zergling, and it is going to get killed. But I think as a result of this, and if Shew is careful, he's going to keep, yep, indeed, he's going to keep the Zergling away from this Warp Prism. That was very smart of him to not let the AI push that probe into the corner. And this Warp Prism looks like it's going to go undetected as it sits right now. There's a handful of Zerglings basically at all the watchtowers as it sits right now. Lots of Overlords spread out to try and detect any kind of drop play. And looking from here, the path seems to be clear, except for this drone that's about to throw it on the hatch. It does see this Warp Prism, and as you can see, immediately the Zerglings are pushed on over and towards the natural to try and defend. And Shew is going to see that, oh, this is not going to work, and he's going to have to retreat with this Warp Prism.
Yeah, and now behind this, Shew is throwing down more gates. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gates in production, along with the original 3, so that is 9 gateways that are coming up. And that kind of signifies that this is going to be an all-in timing. It looks like it was a reordered Sentry Immortal all-in. So there's a bunch of Sentries in them, there's a bunch of Immortals, but it's delayed, right? If this was a normal, typical timed Sentry Immortal, the 2 Immortals would be moving out much quicker, but instead he got the Warp Prism first rather than rallying out after. So this this delay could have spelled danger for him. Aspire's on the way as a response to this by Sasquatch. This could work out pretty well for him. It depends on how much he can delay this push from Shew. With the Immortal, with the Sentries, there's just not very much army. It's mostly gas, not a whole lot of minerals there. So if the Zergling can trade really effectively with that could keep Sasquatch very happy.
No, absolutely, and a pile of Zerglings are going to get close to these Immortals and the Sentries. Looks like the Zealots are going to get dropped off. Warp Prism is going to throw down its field, and of course a pile of Stalkers and Zealots are going to join on up and make this force even substantially larger. And I think this is fairly wise. It's good to have a much larger force going on in. He can wait for the cooldowns on those gateways, and then that way when he does show up, he'll be able to have fresh gateways ready to go. He does have a good amount of minerals and supply, as well as gas to be able to make anything he wants. Decent force fields keeping the Zerglings at bay. There's a couple of Zealots in the back here as well. Meanwhile, these forces are working away on the Spine Crawlers up front, in front of this natural of Sasquatch. Shew really putting Sasquatch on point here and doing as much damage as humanly possible. And it looks like he is winning this engagement by far. It's an all-in strategy to base. Looks like, what is it, a 9-gate all-in, and this is just going to work. There's still some spines left here, but realistically, there is an awful lot of forces here. There's some Mutalisks in the sky as well, and actually a good number of them, 9 in total, but I don't know if it's enough. There's a couple of Stalkers. Guardian Shield goes down with the Sentry, trying to provide that additional level of barrier protection to try and keep them alive. And you can see that Mutalisks are dropping like flies through the sustained fire of these Stalkers, and Zealots are going to work. And oh my goodness, Sasquatch is in not a good position at all.
Yeah, Sasquatch is trying to kick out everything that hits air, but it doesn't really matter at this point. With the base down, with his opponent having the ability to tech if he wants, having the ability to expand if he wants, there's just not really anything that Sasquatch can do. This is game over. He's just going to keep making Zealots, and with the 2 Mutalisks in the air, they're going to be able to, attack uncontested. But it doesn't matter. There's so many Zealots that he won't get anything done in a reasonable amount of time. Each base is going to fall, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Sasquatch GG out.
No, he should GG fairly soon, but I mean, of course, this is the loser's bracket. I suspect that he's going to put in 100% into this, but this layer is going to drop very, very fast. Workers are going to flee over to the other hatchery that's on the far left-hand side of the map. It does have a spire on the way, but there is a GG that you're mentioning about. And Shew is victorious. Game number 1 here in the losers round of 3 between Sasquatch and Shew. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Nightshade.
And I'm Judge. We're going to run some commercials, and we'll be right back with you. Don't go anywhere, and we'll see you soon.
Stick around.